Good morning, I'm Elton Robinson with your August 13th grain and soybean update. USDA surprised most analysts Wednesday with its August production, supply, and demand estimates, raising corn ending stocks by 114 million bushels when most in the trade were expecting a reduction of substantially less than that. This is USDA's first survey-based report of the season. There's been a tale of two crops in the Corn Belt. In July, frequent showers and near to below normal temperatures maintained generally favorable conditions for Midwestern corn and soybean producers. However, pockets of excessive wetness persisted in the southern and eastern Corn Belt. USDA estimated corn production at 13.7 billion bushels, up from last month's estimate, but down 4% from last year, which was a record. Yields are expected to average 168.8 bushels per acre, which was considerably higher than trade guesses. The crop, if realized, would be the second highest yield and the third highest production on record. Soybean production is forecast at 3.92 billion bushels, and yields are expected to average 46.9 bushels per acre. Area for harvest in the United States is forecast at a record 83.5 million acres. Soybean ending stocks are projected at 470 million bushels. That's up 45 million from last month on slow export commitments. All wheat production is estimated at 2.14 billion bushels, while winter wheat production is forecast at 1.14 billion bushels. Rice production was estimated at 205 million hundredweight, down 2 million from last month. Yield is forecast at 7,472 pounds per acre, down 72 pounds from last month's projection. Long grain production is forecast at 149 million hundredweight, and combined medium and short grain production at 56 million hundredweight. Sorghum production is forecast at 573 million bushels, up 32% from last year. If realized, this will represent the highest sorghum production in the United States since 1999. And now, weekly export sales for the week ending August 6th. Wheat exports of 400,000 metric tons were up 27% from the previous week, with Mexico, Nigeria, Japan, and Canada as primary destinations. Corn exports of 480,600 metric tons were down 16% from the previous week, with exports to Mexico, Japan, Egypt, and South Korea. Sorghum exports were down from the previous week. The destination was China, as it has been for the last few weeks. Rice exports totaled 56,100 metric tons, with destinations including Mexico, Panama, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. Soybean exports of 178,000 metric tons were down 16% from the previous week. Primary destinations were Indonesia, Mexico, Colombia, South Korea, and Costa Rica. Soybean meal exports of 211,000 metric tons were up 98% from the previous week, and soybean oil exports were up noticeably from the previous week as well. Beef exports of 10,400 metric tons were down 1% from the previous week, while pork exports of 17,000 metric tons were up 1%. And now for some crop observations from around the country. In Texas, for the week ending August 9th, harvest of corn neared completion in many areas of the upper coast. In the northern high plains, some irrigated corn was cut for silage, and other fields were sprayed with insecticide. Sorghum harvest was wrapping up in some areas of the upper coast, while fields matured in the Edwards Plateau. In Mississippi, Bill Burdine, extension agent in Pontotoc County, says soybean diseases have increased but are not at serious levels. Insect populations are increasing in all crops. Sugarcane aphid treatment has been applied or is needed on most acres. Several fields will have significant yield loss due to the pest. Corn harvest hasn't started, but yields would be much lower than in previous years. John Carson in Issaquena and Sharkey counties says extreme dry temperatures are drying corn and soybean crops very quickly, which is allowing producers to begin their harvest earlier than expected. In Iowa, 97% of the corn crop reached the silking stage or beyond, with 51% reaching the dough stage or beyond. Corn condition was rated 83% good to excellent. Soybeans blooming or beyond reached 92%, while 73% of soybeans were setting pods. Soybean condition was rated 79% good to excellent in Iowa. In Georgia, rains have provided some relief, but overall conditions are still stressful. In Walton County, Georgia, conditions are turning very dry, according to Extension Agent Joel Burnside. On the other hand, Extension agents in Madison, Dooley, and Jasper counties report much needed rains last week. In Quitman County, the dry weather is helping corn harvest progress, according to Extension Agent Jason Blankenship, but hurting late season soybeans, peanuts, and sorghum. Well, that's it for the August 13th grain and soybean update. I'm Elton Robinson. See you next week.